Hello and welcome each and every one of you. With you today is me, Daiga, multilinguistic international coach therapist from DCTcentre, and also I'm true speaker, healer, energy worker, guide, mentor, co-creator, galactic ambassador from Pleiadians. And with me today is two wonderful, lovely ladies, Morganne Rayne, spiritual consultant, gratefully providing access to high dimensions of being. Morganne has been called healer of healers as a way to describe her unique spiritual tools she shares. Morganne is here to serve those who seek greater understanding of their sacred spiritual self, have the deep desire to integrate that consciousness in their 3D world. And with us as well is Jeanne Reina, licensed psychotherapist in state of Washington, working primarily with early childhood trauma, sexual abuse, and emotional neglect, helping clients empower themselves. Jeanne sees herself as lifetime student of growth. She continually takes classes to enhance her knowledge base. And so, if you like what we do, and if you want, if you um, or your family or friends are interested in personal therapy and healing, you can reach out to me, Morgana or Jeanne, for private sessions. All contact details are in the description below the video. If you like what I do, please like, share, and subscribe my YouTube and Rumble channels so we can reach many more people. Hello, 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 my wonderful ladies. How you doing today?
Good, good.
Good. I just read the reading for today. Wow.
Maybe you can share to all our viewers as well.
Jeannie, would you like to read it today?
No, I'd like you to read it.
Okay. All right. Today is November 6th. It's under the concept of oneness and the idea that healing opportunities wear coats of many colors. The men and women in our lives who are easy to love and forgive are less our teachers than those we despise. We so much more easily and gratefully identify with the former. It's a most difficult lesson to understand that the more obnoxious traits in an associate are specifically present for us. Let's recall what this means. The goal of this course, and any spiritual pathway for that matter, is to become aware of the lie regarding our separation from God and one another. We never really left heaven. We never actually separated from our Creator. The ego tells us otherwise, but that's because of its insanity. And it can only stay alive if it succeeds in pitting us against one another. Thus, the anger or disgust we feel for a friend or a stranger in the ego's dirty work. The important task for us is to see through the qualities we despise and realize the perpetrator of this perception is none other than ourselves. When we finally understand this, we'll be closer to realizing the oneness that's been true all along. Our healing and our return home happen in tandem. I'm going to read that one more time. Our healing and our return home happen in tandem. I will not be revolted by anyone today. This is the affirmation. I will not be revolted by anyone today. With the Holy Spirit's help, I'll see people for who they really are.
What I love about that is that where it says, there's heaven on earth, and yet we get to choose, and no one, consciously would actually choose to be in hell.
Not consciously.
Right. But when we walk around unconscious and just react to what's coming at us, we're not living consciously. it's being awake and aware of what's happening within us, that because the only thing we can ever change in the world is us, personally, me personally.
Me, I can change anybody. No.
I
tried that before. That does not work.
Right, exactly. And so it's so I love today's reading because it's we get to choose. I mean, we all think about heaven and how great it is, and yet we can have it here if we allow. Like it says how the ego is insanity.
Yeah.
And it's so we give into that insanity and get into the chaos of all that, and we don't have to. At every moment we have a choice of what we want to do and how we want to live. And so, and we can't do it alone. We have to rely on the Holy Spirit to help us through it.
Yeah. And, up here where it talks about the teachers that come into our lives, a lot of times it's those people that, oh boy,
yeah.
You wonder, what did I do to create this? I don't know if you guys can still see me.
We've seen you before you touch your camera. At the moment, seen only your nose.
Okay. Hello. my computer did something weird. If it crashes again today, then I'll just try to come back in. It's crashed a couple of times this week. But anyway, let's go back to, those teachers that come into our lives, right? And what they can show us, because, a lot of times we push away people that trigger. There's that trigger word again, right? Because we're not willing to look at the trigger. It's like people submerge the triggers so much, it's always going to pop back up again. And that's why we have people come into our lives that assist it to come back up, because it's supposed to come up. It's not supposed to be alive in us. And so when we reject those people that trigger us, we're rejecting our growth. We're rejecting our expansion. We're rejecting the opportunity to recognize we're only looking at ourselves, right? And we forget that we're just one with everything. The ego wants us to believe we're separate from everyone, everything, and everyone. It's the other, it's that out there, but it's not. It's all within us. And the ones that trigger us the most are our greatest teachers. There are times when, it's appropriate namaste, thank you for showing me, right? And it might have hurt like heck to go through whatever it went through. But it's in those places. Jeanne and I were talking about love yesterday. We were talking about that, right? Suggesting to other people about maybe they could remember to love, right? But we did it out of those were teachers that came to us in the form of maybe parents or siblings, or they're still our teachers, right? What it moves us into becoming, right? So if we get into a situation where it's really hard and we lose ourselves and all of that, if we could just in that moment realize that whoever this is our teacher for what is trying to come forward in us. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So you're saying what we think is as a perpetrator is our teacher.
Exactly.
So I'm going to be a little devil's advocate, even though I fully believe this. I'm thinking people are going to struggle with this. So what if someone keeps yelling at you, and it's them, like it's you know it's their stuff, like it, but it's not like they're yelling at you, but you're not buying into it. Like you're not, meaning you're not affected by it because you know it's them, you know, like you're good, like you're good on your own.
Mm-hmm.
I can give them love, I can bless them. But how do I how do I be in relationship with them when they're family?
Well, that's a great question, isn't it?
It is.
Because it's, what are you pushing away from, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is trying, I would first start with, well, what's trying to get my attention here? Right? If it's yelling, right, is what, and if we're only one, if there's only one and there's something yelling at us, what is trying to get my attention? I would start there, right? Because yelling is about, you don't hear me.
Right.
I need to be louder so you'll hear me, right?
Right.
And so I would ask myself first, what am I trying to hear? What's trying to be heard right now? And I would do that because it's just a mirror coming at us. It's just right. And then there's the times where you can say, oh, I got that now. I don't need to be yelled at anymore. Oh, and then that's because if we get hooked into, I have to be yelled at all the time, then you're going to get yelled at all the time. But I would check in first. Is there anything I need to see here? No, here. That's weird. But anyway, I would check in with that first. And then it's like, oh, I don't need to be yelled at. I'm listening. I hear. And when we can move into that, because when you're being yelled at, what does your body do?
It tenses up.
Oh, yeah. Where's the flow? There ain't no flow. Right. You're in a contraction, right? Mm-hmm. So it's but when you say, oh, I hear you. And even if you're talking to somebody else, but you're really talking to you. Mm-hmm. I hear you. Oh, it's like it. And then how does your body feel when you start affirming, I hear you. And I take that to the divine. It's always the divine trying to talk to me. If somebody's yelling at me, the divine is yelling at me. Okay, what do I need to know here? Now, if it's another human that's caught, and maybe you too, because if this is a family relationship, we get caught in those dynamic patterns of family.
Right. And I'm also, thinking domestic abuse, like all this stuff,
Exactly. So someone who's in a domestic abuse situation already is in a powerless victim stance. Would you agree?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So maybe giving this lesson to them would not, maybe eventually it would seep in, right?
Right.
But with people who have been, and I was going to go into that realm as a therapist. What I realized in our systems of assisting domestic violence, they keep them entrapped in the system. And for me, that wasn't what I wanted to do, the work in the world. I want people to be free from the systems of enslavement, free from the victimhood. And so there needs to be the place of love and compassion. Again, that's us too. When we give love and compassion, we're giving it to ourselves too, right? But that love and compassion that comes out, because many times people who are in those situations, that they don't have the experience of being loved. And so I think the first thing to do is give them the experience of being seen, heard, and loved. Seen, heard. It's like, even when I say it, it's like my whole body wants to relax, because that's what we all want. We want to be seen for who we are. We want to be heard and know that what we think is valid. We want to be loved. You know, it's like, so, um,
So
go ahead.
so what I'm hearing you say is, you're thinking, I was thinking, as someone who's listening, who's in a domestic violence situation, what do they do? And what I'm getting from you is you seek help through a therapist, and then, or a spiritual counselor, or coach, or, you know, however you do it.
Or a friend, or, you know,
right.
you gotta want to get out of that.
Right.
Because you're in what people don't realize is that they're caught in a pattern. They're caught in a pattern that just keeps going and going, and then all of a sudden, go ahead.
And usually that pattern starts with the family of origin.
Exactly. That's exactly where it starts, because that's what you're used to, and that's what your frequency attracts, because that's what you're used to. So if you are in a home where there's violence and abuse, then that's what you know. You know that frequency. You know what that feels like, and in a weird way, it's weird. People would rather feel that than do the work to get out of it. Right.
Because there's something in that where people feel comfortable. They feel like it's home, even though it's violent and it's not healthy for them.
Yep.
And so it's recognizing that pattern.
Yep. Well, and two, they've developed strategies about how to be in it. Right. So, so you can't take strategies away from people, because they start freaking out, right? Because that's what they created for themselves in order to cope, or to, you know, to be in the situation. And it is an odd human nature to want to gravitate back to that, but we're used to it. We become, in essence, addicted to it. There's, it's like, if we don't have it, all of a sudden we're creating it out in our world. The only way to stop it is to make a new choice about it, is to choose to do whatever the work is to unravel all of the ties that bind you in those victim relation. I grew up in a very abusive home growing up. I didn't perpetuate that when I became a parent. I chose different, right? I chose peace and love and goodness. That was work because a lot of me kept wanting to be pulled back into the old system. You know, I love my sister, and she always says, I wish you'd just come home. Right. And I go, oh man, that's what I moved away from, because I could see the energy, the entropy of a system I got caught in. Right. The only way for me to get free from that, I had to break free. Each of you did this the same too. You moved far away from it, right? Right. And that was our first way to separate from the dysfunction, so that we could find who we are. And that, when people are in hard situations, I could have replicated, and I did a few times. People say, why aren't you married? Why did I go? I got sick of marrying my father over and over again, right? And it's true. It was like that, that same kind of energy, because I was used to it. That's, it's like, I doubt I would ever do that again, because I know it, I sense it. It's taken me a while, but I can know it on a first date. And it's like, it used to take me a whole relationship to get it. And it's like, no, not for me. So it's to escape it takes choosing again, over and over again, and knowing, I mean, you can look out in your world and you see different experiences. It's going, I'd like to try that. That looks good, you know, and you move over there and you figure that out. I don't know, I'm just rambling now. So
yeah, so what I'm gathering is when you have a family member, a spouse, whatever, that keeps on yelling at you, and you have to encounter them, you know, it could be a coworker, anything. How do you so I'm thinking, as they're yelling at you, because you know they're a yeller and that's what they do. So in order to not take it in, as they're yelling at you, I'm thinking, would it be a good idea to love them?
oh,
To send
that's
them
always
love?
a good idea. Yeah.
Right. Just send them love and block the anger. And in the sending of love, you can see them as a child and having a temper tantrum.
Yep.
And then you can talk to them as you would a child, which would you give them love and compassion.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, asking beautiful questions like, what do you really need me to hear? What is it you and speak in those beautiful, soft, loving tone, gentle, like a mama should speak, right?
Right.
You know, gently, lovingly. People do those kinds of things like yelling because they've never felt heard. So they yell in order to be heard. But again, yelling, I don't know about you, but whenever I've been yelled at, I can't hear what they're saying. All I can hear is the energy that they're trying trying to heap upon me or enroll me in or drag, you know, it's like that's what you hear. You don't hear the words. So if you can help them discover what the words are, like, what is it that I get, you're really trying to tell me something. What is it? What are the words you're trying to tell me? Just to help them bring it back down, because for the people that yell, that's how they try to get heard, right? But if you can hear them through the quiet, you know, and this is really interesting. This morning I was practicing this concept of numbness, which interestingly enough, this kind of comes together, right? That numbness is that place where you're not, you know, some people call it bored, and they try to fill up the space with something to do in that bored place, right? But it could be any energy. So we fill up our space with upset or anger or addiction or whatever you know, jumping up and that human doingness we talk about, right? We don't sit in that space. And people who use I call it verbal, that's verbal violence. That's what yelling is verbal violence. When they use that, they're not spending that kind of qualitative time within themselves in that place where they can that self-discovery. They're always reaching outside of themselves with that verbal violence to try to figure out their world and figure you out and tell you what to do. And, you know, it's always projection outside of yourself. Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
David, you're real quiet today.
To give them love.
I'm just
give them love. Yeah.
No, because about yelling, it's not much thank God not going on in my life, I'm more thinking about how to be in a place where people who are not really socially skilled and supposed to be supported, supposed to be protected, supposed to be taught basic human skills and supposed to, if you read paperwork and policies and everything, they supposed to be protected, they supposed to be helped move forwards, yeah. But in state of that, I see that they are just pampered and allowed all their addictions, all their bad habits, they just keep allowing them keep going on same way as they've been going on before they arrived in this place, yeah. And it's totally utterly this goes against all my human beliefs, all my values, all my everything actually as a human and as a therapist. So now tell me what I need to learn from that and what I need to how to resolve this issue in me if it's in me.
I would first ask you what's coming up for you. What is that feeling that's coming up for you around this issue?
For me, it's coming up that I'm here to help people. I'm here to support people. Instead, I just support them keep their lifestyle how it is, and I do not do my job. I feel I'm doing I'm pushed to do everything else apart from actually what my job description is saying. Yeah, and it's totally and utterly out of all my
Yep. And again, I'm going to just bring up Dr. Julian Haleakala, right, in his work with the criminally insane. And even though you might have some of them where you are, in this situation you're talking about. But we'll go back to what I read. The ego is insane. It's totally insane. And where you're at with viewing these people, they're totally in their ego. They have totally forgotten that they are connected to God. They're the epitome of the egoic state. So if you were Dr. Julian Haleakala and you were, sitting in his position as a master of Ho'oponopono, what would you do for yourself? Because really, it's about the triggers that are coming up for you, the judgments that are coming up for you, right? That's when he worked with the criminally insane and he read their bios and he witnessed who they were. He didn't try to fix them. He worked to clear himself of the frequency. In some ways, that sounds selfish, doesn't it? But really, because we're one, that's what we do. We can clear it by clearing out wherever we're feeling. That's what he did. he cleaned and cleared himself. So if he read something and it triggered him, he would start Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. Then there's that love again, huh, Jeannie? It's like bringing it always back to love, always bringing it back. And when we hold those frequencies and we witness them, and if we start judging them, we're right there with them. So the judgment will pull our energy down there with them. So it's, bringing it back to, wow, here's this judgment trigger. It's not about them, Daga. Here's this judgment trigger. How is that affecting you? How is that experience affecting who you are? I would begin working with Ho'oponopono immediately, all the time, whenever you're around this particular situation. And Jeannie's an expert at being in this kind of situation, because this is the work that she did. I've got so much pride and kudos for this beautiful human that gave her lifeblood to help homeless women, right? And gave love, gave counsel, gave guidance. And and Daga, that's where you are. Even though you can't do really the work you're doing because they gave you a different job description, you can still do it. You could still do the work. Does that make sense? Because really, again, it's not about them. It's about how we view them, and that's what brings us back into the frequency of the wholeness. That's what Bob Proctor. Do you know who Bob Proctor is? Yeah, Jeannie probably will, because he's,
I know.
Yeah, so I've been in lots of work with this man, and one of the most profound things he ever said when we were talking about poverty and kind of victimhood where you're at. He goes, the best thing you can do is not become one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's the best thing we can do, is not become one. And that's what I did. I didn't want to become the kind of parent my parents were. I wanted to become the kind of parent that I needed, that I wanted, so, and that's what we do. We do that. So
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
So what I realized, the people who yell and abuse other people aren't really loving themselves.
Mm-mm.
And they have to love themselves before they can do anything else, really. And so the reason why they don't love themselves is probably because they haven't been loved, in a way that they felt loved. So the best thing we can do, along with the Ho'oponopono, is be in a loving state ourselves. Like, make sure we're in a loving state and give them that love.
Yeah.
Share that love with them. And if we can do that, they have to wake up a little bit. They're going to be changed because of that experience. So it's not like rocket scientist in a way. It's not hard to do. It's just being in love. But we have to start the love within ourselves first. We can't be angry and give love to another person. We have to be in
because
love.
It's the anger that's in us.
Right. So we can put like, if we're encountering somebody, say, listen, excuse yourself, I've got to go to the bathroom. Can we get back here in 5 minutes or 10 minutes? And just put yourself in a place of love. Like, just practice being in love. and feel the love within inside yourself, and know, you know, the love that you've been practicing forever is, and it has always been there, is get in touch with that and just go back out and just say, and just be present with them and give them love, and let them be able to, the pause will also help them calm down a little bit.
Yeah.
So,
and it's the pause that's necessary. And that's
right.
what I was trying to get to about the numb part, right? You got to disengage from what it is. You got to disengage and move to that still place within you, the numb, the pause, the space. So because it's in there that creativity can happen, a new idea can happen, a new what to say can happen. That's where the Holy Spirit moves, is in that place, right? But if we're in our ego is going to come back with fear. If you're being yelled at, we'll just go, if you're being yelled at, your ego might be afraid. It might get angry. It might get wounded some more, you know. That's how the ego will do it. But if you can stop and take that pause, even in the midst of all the anger, the yelling, whatever's going on, the using the drugs, whatever it is going on, right? If you can move back into that pause, into that quiet place, into this place where you release that, and then you can receive what it is you either say or how you be. You follow the guidance from within, not the ego that wants to retaliate, or the ego's insane. Remember that. When you see insanity, you see ego fully at play.
And that's what judgment is.
Huh?
That's what judgment is.
Yeah.
Judgment's all about insanity.
Absolutely. You know, years ago, I had this, I love dreams, right? And this dream will always stick with me because it was so profound. And I dreamt I was like in a world where it's like all this chaos, all this stuff going on. And I entered into a building. It was like a big corporate building. It was beautiful. Everything in there was beautiful. But I had walked into this place after walking out of a lot of chaos and anger. It was like city stuff going, concrete buildings, all that. Hard noise. And then so I walked into this building and got onto an elevator, and the elevator took me up, all the way to the roof. Like, it wasn't even, there were no walls. It was a roof very high up, and there were like, it was so high up, there were clouds, right? And up there, and I get all the way up. You have to elevate yourself. You have to and you got to bring your energy. I think about the map of consciousness when I think about that elevator, right? Moving from that low, dense energy, moving yourself up that map of consciousness. And I got moved all the way to the very top, where there were no walls. There was no noise and confusion. What was there were light beings that were joyous, light beings that could they were so lightweight, they moved by just, it was kind of like a whoo, they moved like that. They didn't walk like earth humans. They glided in there. There's this beautiful light energy, and there was a guide there with me, and I go, I want to do that. I want to do that. And the guide looked at me just in my eyes and said, then you must release all your judgments. Then you must release all your judgments. And the dream ended. What was the message there?
Release judgment.
You can't ascend to who you really are if you're still hanging on to judgments about others. We got to release the judgments.
You know, and when you're judged, if somebody's yelling at you, they're just a wounded person.
Yeah.
You know, so we need to have compassion for them, and it's hard if we're not in love, in a state of love.
Exactly. We cannot meet them at the same energy.
Right.
In order to heal, we must move back within, come back home to love, to our natural state of being, and then we can move into our world anchored in the truth of who we are and be a mirror for them of peace and love and non-judgment. And that's why we're here. We're not here to blend in and, you know, feel like we're special amongst them. No, we're I wish, but no, we're here to do this work. I'm feeling like I want to pull a card. So I know we're getting close to the end time, but I'm still feeling driven to pull a card. I'll be right back.
Tega, you're happy?
Don't tell her.
I think she knows.
Don't you like this reinsurance from cars?
So I think we get what it's just telling what we already just go over usually. So I don't get as much out of it as you do. But you like the reassurance that, again. Yeah.
I call that reassurance confirmations. Oh, I was right. Oh, look at me. I do stuff.
Yeah.
Look at me. I know shit. Oh my God.
I wasn't talking to myself. I actually hear something else talking to me.
Right. So I'm just going to ask, what is the energy that's calling me to do this? What is the message that's to be received here?
Okay.
Maybe not one I would like jump up and down to receive, but it's called sacrifice. So just kind of look at what that is. And I see a swimmer that has gone to, looks like the bottom of the sea and found something. So sacrifice. So let's read what these beautiful cards have to say about sacrifice, because we've been led to this. And I personally love sacrifice. That means you're letting go of something that doesn't belong. Okay, sacrifice. Where are you? Oh, this also used to be in the old tarot system. This was the Hanged Man. So, okay. And by the way, I'm reading from this book.
Wait for a minute. 1 minute. Okay.
The Book of the Triumph of the Spirit. I love this book. Okay. This card shows our purpose. Once again, find the light worker. We have seen her in her joyful manifestation. We have seen her proud of her chariot. We have seen her bound beneath the veil. We have seen her working on the world. Now, let us examine the burden. Now, let us honor our sacrifice. Now, let us remember our work in more detail. Remember, we are here to lift up the physical universe through the dense waters of the lower dimensions of creation. We are here to lift the physical universe back up into the rarefied realms of spirit. We are here to ascend the universe. As explained in the Book of Light, Volume 2, when we exhausted the potential of the last level of our creation, we all agreed that some of us would descend headfirst into physical manifestation in order to uplift all of creation. At first, we weren't sure exactly how we would accomplish it, but we knew we would do it. It was really of a question of getting a hold of things tightly enough so we could heave and hoe and lift up the energies of the physical universe up to a more rarefied vibration. It was only a minor problem, really, and we knew it would not take a real long time to accomplish. In fact, from the perspective of spirit, it hasn't taken more than 3 moments to get it right. From the perspective of spirit, we had to arrange things all up and down the time tube to support the energetic ascension of the universe. Of course, if you are looking at things from within the time tube, it seems like spirit has been struggling and fighting for millennia. You look back onto a history that your body sees and see time stretched out behind you like some long cosmic highway. But that is only the perspective of the body. Your spirit sees things quite differently. In fact, from the perspective of spirit, time only exists within the physical universe. As a result, getting conditions right for the ascension hasn't taken any time at all. Indeed, from the perspective of spirit, everything that has ever happened is happening right now, including this wondrous thing we call ascension. But I'm getting sidetracked. The purpose of this card is to emphasize your sacrifice in working on and finally achieving the ascension of the universe. And let there be no doubt, it has been a sacrifice. Even though it has taken no time at all, still it was a sacrifice. Invoking illusory duality, closing your eyes and sticking your spiritual consciousness deep into Maya, the illusion of duality, was difficult and painful. Your multiple bodies from multiple lifetimes suffered much, and your spiritual consciousness suffered right along with them. And as we all know, at times it's been utterly horrid. Although buoyed by the sacred nature of purpose, moved forward by the promise of spirit, and inspired by the grandeur of the outcome, nevertheless, we have struggled, suffered, and sacrificed. We have put up with the duality. We have suffered the darkness. We have withstood the pain. We have endured the boredom. There can be no doubt we have sacrificed. But we knew it would pay off. And we knew it would not take long from the perspective of spirit to get it right. And so we anchored ourselves in the light, closed our eyes, descended into the waters, and prepared to lift.
That's beautiful.
That's who we are. That we did this. We came here. We knew what we were going to encounter. We knew we were going to get all these situations with what Dega's called the witness, like what you did, the work you did with the homeless shelter, right? The work we do with our families, that can be really dark sometimes, right? When we dive into that. But we came here to encounter all of that because we can. We have it in us. We are in some ways chosen to do this, but we also chose to do it because we have the capacity. we have the remembering to remember to love when people are yelling. We have the capacity to hold somebody as whole when they're broken in their addictions. So I love that I was called to get this because we have sacrificed. And the thing we need to sacrifice right now is our ego. That's what has to get sacrificed. Is the separation, the suffering, all that egoic stuff. It's time to sacrifice that now. What you think about that card, Daga?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. I have something what Galactic asked me to do, but that's literally 1 minute for us to ask for help, and like call upon Archangel Michael and ask for support, for help. Yeah.
Yep.
Archangel Michael, please assist me directly in cleansing my energy and reversing any negative energetic patterns, curses, or energies of psychic attack. Release any distorted energy from my field and dissipate any stuck, stagnant, or challenging energies. Break any curses that are negatively impacting me now, and release any negative or distorted energy into the light. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So here is for you really something to ask upon Archangel Michael to help and support you release everything what is not yours to carry.
Yeah, I got up to go look. I have a shirt that I got when I was in Santa Fe this year, and it's a picture of Archangel Michael on there with, you know, slaying the dragon, right? And it says, "I got you." I loved it because I love invoking that awareness of Archangel Michael. All my angels, we all have them. We'll go back to hiring the heavens work. You know, it's just, it's like they're waiting there for us to help us, right? We're not here alone. We may have chosen to come here, but we're not here alone. I remember as a little girl, even in the hardest, darkest times of being in my family, I could sense and feel a presence with me all the time, all the time. And that's what I leaned into. That's what it's like, it's where I developed my relationship with the Holy Spirit, was in those places where I had to separate myself, move away. And usually it was up in my tree. You know, I'm always trying to get up higher, right? So it's, that presence of the Holy Spirit within us that will always guide us. And we got a couple of minutes. Can we do just a little bit of a meditation?
Definitely, yes.
Okay, everybody, let's just, this has been a big conversation today. And maybe some of you are kind of like, you know, not quite sure where you are in the conversation, but I trust that you're going to get what you needed from this conversation. And so I invite you right now to just take a breath with me. That's just such a beautiful thing to do. That breath in, life. And just let your breath out and just relax. And come into your feet, come into your body, the awareness of your body. Isn't it interesting? I say come into your body like you're not present there, but a lot of times we're not present. And so bringing the awareness, this presence back into our body temples. Breath in. And on the out breath, just relax into your body. And using that breath to, again, take a breath in, welcoming your spirit back home, breath in. And on the out breath, just relax, and that awareness is a spirit alive within you. And I'm going to invite you to just take your hand and put it over your heart. And just do your own breathing. It's so amazing. Our body temples just know how to breathe. We don't even have to focus on it. We can do conscious breathing, which we have done. We do every time. But then there's just that automatic, our body breathes. And with your hand over your heart, what do you feel there? Take a moment. Where your hand is over your heart, what are you feeling right there? Are you feeling aliveness? Are you feeling numb? Are you feeling joyful? Are you feeling sad? What is the feeling that you're experiencing right there with your hand over your heart? Take a breath into your heart. Acknowledge where you are. And if it's you can't feel anything, beautiful. Be present to that. If you're feeling sadness, wonderful. Be present to that. If you're feeling joy, wonderful. Be present to that. Take a breath in, and with your hands still over your heart, what are you feeling right there? Be conscious and awake about what you are feeling, who you are. Continue to hold your hand over your heart. Asking yourself, what am I feeling now? What's present for me right there? Taking beautiful breaths in for expansion. If you're feeling numb, what a beautiful place, because it's almost like a blank slate for you to plant beautiful divine seeds. If you're feeling joy, expand that joy to include others. If you're experiencing sadness or something that maybe you're not wanting to experience, just be in acceptance of it and allow the Holy Spirit to show you what it needs to show you through that sadness. It's present there for a reason. And with your hand over your heart still, if you've heard this message here today, you also descended into this. You were also chosen to be here at this time. And perhaps right now where you are is loving yourself, developing compassion, seeing through new eyes, making different choices. And maybe you're like some of us who dove deep in to help lift others up. I think we all are here for that purpose right now. Then dive deep in. If you're going to be here to do this job, then dive in and lift others up with your hands still over your heart. What's alive in you right there. Take a breath in. Expand the awareness what's right there. And as you take this precious time to discover what is right there, this is not time wasted or time lost. There is no time. That's an egoic conversation that traps you into conversations of, I've not done enough. I need to do more. Bring your attention back to the present, to your breath, to your heartbeat, to who you are. Invite yourself in all the way, all of you, into your heart, into this moment, into this life experience that you find yourself. Bring yourself whole, healed, loved, at peace, so that we can go into our world with our beautiful frequencies of whole, healed, loved, and at peace, and offer those frequencies to all. Breath in, breath out, relax on that. Affirming, I am here to uplift others. Affirm, the Holy Spirit uplifts me. With your hands still over your heart, what are you feeling right there? What are you feeling? Breath in, breath out. Come into awareness of who you are, where you are, and why you are here. And so, my beloveds, you have received your message this day. You are here. You made the supreme sacrifice to come here. Even when you see the wrongness in all of it, you are here to uplift, help others remember the truth of who they are. And you are supported in every way by your higher guidance, by the Holy Spirit, and by a whole host of the heavenly realm that are here to help you. Use them. Use them. Ask. Ask when you cannot remember. Ask. And with your beautiful hand over your heart, feel into who you are. Breath in, breath out. And so we leave you with this remembering. Remember who you are. Check in who you are and where you are and why you are. And then offer your frequency to all those you encounter. We love you. We bless you. We support you. We are here for you in everything and in every way. We love you. Let it be. And so it is.
Okay. And after this, you want us to speak, yes? Jeanne, do you have something to say?
Yes, what the card did for me today, it grounded me in all we talked about. So it does help me a lot in a way that I hadn't thought about before. So thank you for the cards, Morganne, and thank you for the beautiful meditation. Beautiful. And thank you, ladies, for having this and having me. And thank you for all those who are listening. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you, Morganne. Thank you, Jeanne, for your time. Thank you for this beautiful knowledge and discussions. And thank you, everybody who is listening now and who will be listening. And please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube and Rumble channels so we can share this beautiful wisdom far and wide. So have a great evening, morning, wherever you are. And till next week. God bless.